Over the past 3 decades, Quentin Tarantino has become responsible for some of the most recognizable visual signatures in modern cinema. He achieved massive success early on, sweeping up major awards from the Oscars to the Palme d'Or. But he has capped his career with a self-imposed limit, vowing to retire forever after his 10th film. Understanding that decision requires looking at how his use of postmodernism evolved over 30 years. Tarantino famously bypassed film school, learning his craft while working as a high school dropout behind the counter of a video rental store. This background made him the defining representative of cinematic postmodernism, a style completely built upon the remixing of existing culture. Over time, he moved from using these techniques to mimic the movies he loved, to using them as a way to intervene in real-world history. The first phase of his career consists of the gritty crime thrillers, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, and Jackie Brown. In these films, he employed pastiche, taking the low-budget exploitation and French New Wave films he grew up on and elevating them into high art. He used non-linear storytelling to fracture his plots, subverting the expectations of a typical Hollywood narrative. He filled these stories with mundane dialogue, letting his characters debate pop culture and fast food moments before committing acts of extreme violence. Despite these stylings, his early characters remained grounded in a gritty, hyper-realistic universe where actions had physical consequences. At this stage, his work functioned like a mirror, reflecting the vast amounts of media he had consumed as a clerk. Phase 2 marked a transition into a more stylized meta-universe, defined by the genre-heavy aesthetics of Kill Bill and Death Proof. Tarantino distinguishes this era by viewing these films as the movies in a movie that the characters from his earlier crime films would actually go to the theater to watch. To sever his connection to the real world, he replaced actual product placement with his own fictional brands, creating an interconnected web of Big Kahuna burgers and Red Apple cigarettes. He was no longer just referencing the outside world. He had built a self-sustaining cinematic ecosystem. This shift leads into Phase 3, his late-career historical epics, Inglourious Basterds, Django Unchained, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Here, his use of postmodernism moves far beyond aesthetic presentation and becomes a tool for altering historical reality. He chooses to confront the grimmest parts of history, including World War II, American slavery, and global fascism. He uses his signature violence and the medium of film to literally rewrite history, allowing fictional characters to eliminate dictators and dismantle systems of oppression. This revisionism functions as a form of cinematic revenge, creating a universe where victims of real-world tragedies are saved by the narrative. By this stage, Tarantino is deploying cinema as a mechanism for historical correction. Over 30 years, Tarantino